Okay, so this is my recording of a light-side geoterritory battle cam attempt. Unfortunately, when I first recorded it, the audio did not record for whatever reason, so I'm going to try and commentate over the top of what I already did, so the mouse cursor might kind of go to some funny places. First thing we're going to do is look at the mods. My characters are not super fast, but they do have a lot of crit avoidance arrows. Part of the problem is that my crit avoidance arrows are not very good. You can see here this only has 9 speed. I have been trying to get better ones, but it is a slow process. So Shakti is not super fast. Her speed's 306, but she does have that crit avoidance arrow, and that's very useful for survivability. You might have seen at the start that all of these clones are Relic 5 as opposed to Relic 7. The only one who does not have a crit avoidance arrow is Fives. He has a health arrow, and he in fact has all health mods because A, it is incredibly important that he does not die. So he has a lot of health here. And B, he then passes that speed on to the other clones. So you can kind of see the other crit avoidance arrows as we go through. We've got on all 4 of the other party members, apart from Fives. Again, the one on Arc Trooper is pretty slow. The one on Rex is quite quick. The one on Echo is pretty slow. So my Arc Trooper has around 250 speed. Echo's around 260. And that is somewhat fast for Echo. I don't think it's particularly fast for Arc Trooper. So as we go into combat, first thing you're going to watch for is what Django does and what Reek does. In this case, we have a Django Basic and a Reek AoE. So that means we're going to go to work on the B2s. I'm not going to use Foam Up here, even though we have buff immunity, simply because it's not going to grant turn meter to anybody. So there's really no point in casting it. And since the B2s are still alive, they can get rid of buffs, and thus they would get rid of the tenacity up, and then Django could set us on fire. So we're just going to go to work on the B2s, start off with a Rex Basic. We're going to follow it up with an Echo AoE just to get 1 stack off each of the B2s. And because it does more damage, it does a little bit of damage to Reek. Obviously, it will do no damage to Django, because Django has the same amount of trample stacks as Echo does. Initially, I like to put the Arc Turret on Rex while the B2s are still alive, because Rex is my fastest clone. And that way he just kind of gets that extra hit from the turret as often as possible. Later on, we'll move it to Echo, because Echo will be targeting the Reek. And that turret actually does a chunk of damage to Reek. So with Fives, if Shaq was faster, I would use the assist here and have Shaq assist. But since Shaq hasn't gone yet, she hasn't done this move, which is to stand your ground on herself. And that's pretty much always the first move I do with Shakti. I cannot imagine a situation where it's not. And then Shaq's going to go again, and this time we're going to use middle ability of Shakti. It's pointless calling an assist. But if she middle abilities on herself, then she is going to get speed up on herself. And that's going to allow her to go a bit faster and take those turns, get the heals around to everybody more quickly. It's something that I don't see a ton of people do. I wonder if they don't realize that it counts for Shakti. She's also going to get a bonus attack from this, which allows her to finish off this B2. And then you can see next turn, Stand Your Ground will be available, and we're going to be able to use it on one of the clones. Kind of ideally Echo, but it depends how much damage people take. Reek blasts Fives here, so that kind of makes our decision for us. We wanted to Stand Your Ground on Echo to allow him to be assist, to kind of free him up to not have those trample stacks. And that would allow us to blast down the B2s pretty quickly, but instead we have to use it on Fives because we do not want Fives to die. And Reek goes for Fives again, because of course he does. So it's a really good job that we just got him all of that protection back, because Reek got rid of it again immediately. Obviously my Fives has a lot of health, and that's going to help a lot. I could Form Up here to give Shakti some speed, and that's, I think, the mouse cursor that you just saw me moving over Shakti, who was me talking about that initially. But I don't think it's worth it. B2 is still alive. Django's Burning is available. So forming up is going to give us tenacity up, but then B2 can just get rid of it, right, by using his AoE. So we don't want to do that now. We want to save that for later. Once the B2s are dead, it's a perfectly viable strategy to just pre-form up to have tenacity up so that we resist the burning. So now we get to finish off the B2 with Arc. And now we're kind of into the middle stage. In an ideal world, one of the clones would have already died, but since Reek has kept hitting fives, that has not happened. So here we're just going to get offense up on everybody. The reason I'm attacking Django is because fives has taunt. So that means Echo has the extra damage instead of fives. And every time you hit Reek, his offense stacks up. And if I hit him with fives currently, because fives has taunt, it's not going to work. Now, we really don't want fives to die, so even though he's not going to assist, we're definitely going to heal fives here because we just absolutely do not want fives to die before one of the other clones, and Reek seems determined to hit him. Obviously, if we'd managed to get rid of Echo's trample earlier, we could have used this with Echo and gotten an assist. And of course, Django sets everybody on fire, because what else is he going to do? So this kind of makes our decision for us. We would quite like to use Shakti's middle ability here to get rid of the burning, but it is so important that fives does not die that we're just going to put the protection back on fives because Rex is going next, and Rex can also get rid of the burning, right? So the only person who's going to take extra damage here from the burning is Rex. And we kind of want that because we want him to die and we want fives to sacrifice. The other person we really don't want to lose is Shakti, and of course Reek is going after Shakti here as well. So he's kind of picking on the ones that we really don't want to be picking on here. But it is what it is. Obviously we're going to get rid of burning here. It's also going to give fives some turn meter because fives doesn't have trample. But the main purpose here is to get rid of burning. Normally I would target Django here. And put a basic into him if he was damage immune. But we're actually going to target Reek because Rex still has the turret. And the turret will actually chunk him for a good 18,000, well, 15,000, close enough. Fives is still taunting, so we're just going to put the basic into Django. We don't want to hit Reek because it will give him offense, but like the low amount of damage that fives will do here is just not worth it. Now Echo, on the other hand, because fives is taunting, has the bonus offense. And you can see his special ed did 51,000. Which is no joke. With Arc, whenever we can, we're going to use the turret attack. We're now going to switch it back to Echo because the B2s are dead. And having the turret on Echo, because Echo is always attacking the Reek, means that we're going to get that extra 15,000. Django with a rocket to the face to fives. They really don't want him to live here. Middle ability is available, so we're going to get Shakti to give her the speed up again, so that her heal and stand her ground comes back around because they're both available next turn. Notice again, Reek continue to hit fives. We really want Rex to die here. Luckily, I think Reek's AoE is quite soon, so we're going to be able to have that happen unless we're very, very unlucky. So because Rex doesn't do any damage, we're just going to put his basic into a damage immune Django. I think I misclicked there and hit Rex taunt instead of fives taunt instead of fives basic. That should have been a basic into Django. I'm using the taunt there, it doesn't gain any benefit because there's nobody available to assist. Echo has the turret, so we're going to get in some damage. And same with Arc. They kind of hit for 5,000 or 6,000 each. There's the AoE, and that of course finally killed Rex. So now fives are sacrificed. That makes us all a lot safer, although Shakti's health and Arc's health are pretty bad. Now, ideally, we want Rex to get more trample stacks than Django, so he can just destroy him with that aerial annihilate. And there we go. We got very lucky there. He could have probably almost killed Arc. Probably not, because Arc has the extra health from fives there. So we're going to continue going to work on Reek, and you can see that we kind of chunk his protection down pretty quick. What we could really do with is Rex getting the extra stack, which we got really lucky there. We just got it. So now Rex is going to wipe Django off the map. The only kind of danger here is that maybe Django could rocket Arc or Rex and take them out and get his extra life back, but I think they have too much health. That said, I wouldn't want it to be a Reek and then Django 1-2 whammy, so we're just going to take Django out as fast as we can. And hopefully neither Rex nor Arc will die, even though they're in the yellow, so to speak. Remember, they got all that extra health from fives, which is going to make sure that they can live. So here, I don't really care about healing Rex, but I very much don't want Arc to die. So I'm going to throw the heal on Arc, knowing that I can stand ground next turn. Ideally on Echo, but I guess the only way it's not going to be on Echo is if Arc gets, if Shaq gets trampled by Reek. So we're going to keep working on Django. Here we really want to make sure Django dies. So normally we target the Reek here so that the turret hits Reek, but instead we're going to target Django to make sure we finish him, because I don't think the bomb is quite going to be enough from where we are, and we want to really be sure. There we go. So now Django's dead. Kind of enter the end game, and in the end game Rex is largely useless. In fact, he's kind of a detriment to the team because he hits Reek and he gives some power up. Now here we really want to make sure that Shaq goes next because we know she has stand ground available. So we're actually going to form up specifically to get Shaq T some extra turn meter there and make sure that she goes next. We're going to stand ground on Echo, which will A, free him up for an assist, and B, get his protection back. So as long as Reek, as long as Reek doesn't hit Echo, then Echo's going to be able to assist now. Obviously, he did, but the fact that we used stand your ground on him basically saved his life. The Rex hits are not terrible, but not as impactful as blasting him for 40,000 like Arg and Echo can do. Shaq's going to throw speed up to herself. Interesting point there is I could have also used that on Arc, and that would gain him stealth, which is pretty useful, and then that would kind of force him to focus on Rex. We really want Rex to die. Aerial Annihilate is still not great, but it will do some damage. It was a combined, looks like 32 there. So not as much as the as even Arc's basic. So Rex AoE, Reek AoE gets rid of Rex. That's not a problem. We really don't want Shaq to die, so we're gonna stand ground on Shaq because I know that Shaq and Arc on their own can just bring this home. Reek is so low now, and Arc has so much health. So luckily, they do so much damage. I think at this point it probably doesn't matter, but we're just gonna blast Reek and make sure. We could have instead of speeding up Shaq a couple of turns ago, as I said, used the ability on Arc, the middle ability, and that hides him, gives him stealth. So that means the Reek can't select him. So the AoE would have still hit him, but the individual attacks would not have. And I think that that's sometimes a very powerful thing to do. It's quite niche. So there you go. That is my Relic 5 clones and my Relic 7 Shaq T, and it's a success. Dodged a couple of potential hits from Reek, but overall went pretty smoothly. Thanks.